let's talk about something a little less important in the real world, but important in terms of YouTube creators, content creators. Disney and YouTube have dropped PewDiePie. And some of you are right now, I think maybe a handful of you are like, who the hell is PewDiePie and why has been talking about him? Well, if you've been on YouTube and you watch videos on YouTube for more than a week, I'm sure you've come across PewDiePie, but he's been dropped by Disney and YouTube after an anti-Semitic video, and this is according to the Palm Beach Post. So just to help you understand who PewDiePie is, he's beyond an internet sensation. He's like the most subscribed YouTuber on YouTube, period. He made last year, 2016, he made $15 million on YouTube alone. I just want you to think about that. This dude goes home, grabs his mic like most of us do, and I'm not even at home. He does it in the comfort of his home and talks about something. I don't know I never could understand his videos, but maybe that's why it's so valuable. He makes $15 million last year alone off of his video. So it was in response to inappropriate videos that YouTube deemed inappropriate. They've canceled the release of his second season on YouTube of PewDiePie's reality show, and they removed his channel from Google Preferred. Disney Maker Studio had been in a partnership with PewDiePie, but Disney terminated that partnership, and they stated that his latest videos were inappropriate. PewDiePie, obviously, I can't pronounce his real last name. It's like Jelleberg or something. He stated that he is in no way supporting any type of hateful attitudes, and he claimed that he was trying to make a statement with the video online about the absurdity of some online services that are available. And so what happened in the particular video is that he allegedly paid two men from India to hold up an anti-Semitic symbol. He made a video of it, and his reaction and his response to the video was shock and dismay, but he had actually allegedly paid them on Fiverr.com. If you're not familiar with Fiverr.com, it's basically where you go and you can find services all across the world for $5. It is the height of exploitation, and you can find some really good work there. But anyway, so he hired them for $5 to hold up a sign, an anti-Semitic sign, and he used that as a way of making a joke as well as some soft social commentary. The end result was that he lost his contract with Disney, and he has lost his standing with YouTube. I do believe his YouTube channel is still up, and so his main income stream of $15 million a year, it's going to be quite okay. But the Wall Street Journal review, a Wall Street Journal review found 9 PewDiePie's video posted over the last 6 months alone featured imagery including swastikas, Nazi salutes, and shots of Hitler. Last month alone, YouTube showed a clip of a man dressed as Jesus saying Hitler did absolutely nothing wrong. PewDiePie insists that all of this is just comedy, and that this is just his way of communicating with his audience. And so the only thing I would say about this is that, one, well, no, I'm going to say, let me just say this from just a professional perspective. Bruh, when you get to a certain level, you leave the childish humor alone and stop using that as an excuse, right? You got to protect your brand. $15 million a year. Like, I get it. You got there by keeping it real, but sometimes keeping it real goes wrong, right? Like, I love you, my audience. I do. But if what I do to keep you will ultimately undermine me from progressing in the future, right? If I have to do something ignorant or something vile or something disgusting or something offensive to keep my audience, maybe I should reevaluate my audience as I go. Thankfully, I don't have to do that. All I have to do is be truthful and be smart and, and have good timing and delivery, et cetera, et cetera. But $15 million for making videos. I mean, you could go make I think he got his start by making video game videos. Just go back to that. But seriously, if that's what it takes, and he uses his audience as a justification, right? He's just kind of, joking with his audience because his audience understands that type of humor. But again, all right. So that's one thing. The second thing is actually what matters. It's that the imagery alone can't be. No, it can be. Let me correct myself. The imagery alone is offensive to people. The jokes by themselves, it's offensive to a lot of people, and we keep on existing on this weird existence where we try to justify and say, oh no, we'll let anything go in the name of free speech, but pay no attention to the effects that it has on the people who are exposed to it. And no respect for the fact that the people who are offended by it have every right to speak out about it. And so when you're in the competition of ideas, and when you're in the public square and competing in the public square for the for influence and for reach and for the ability to have a large audience, when you're in the public square doing that, you have to realize that there are people who are going to compete against you about the exact message that you're trying to send. In other words, you're in the public square and you're trying to say whatever it is that you want to say, and you want to have the right to say it, and you feel like you have the free speech to say it and everything else. But the people who oppose you and are offended by what you say and think what you say is disgusting and think what you say is not only disgusting, but threatening to their lives, because this is what this imagery represents, they have just as much right to push back against you, fight back against you, and shout you down. You can shout as loud as you want to, but everyone in the public square has the right to shout back just as loud. And what happens is that these companies don't want to be involved with it, and they cancel your contract. But, the consolation prize is he probably still make $15 million next year. So, PewDiePie, we will not shed a single tear over the fact that this dude has lost some major contracts because of making jokes about Nazi symbols and anti-Semitic symbols. All right, folks, I'm over time and still like 7 stories to go through. So but catch me tomorrow and I'll try to go through the rest of them. See you later.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support The Benjamin Dixon Show. It's Ben Dixon! If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.